Hello everyone, here we are with this week's tutorial, which is a very well-known song called Blue Moon. It was written by Richard Rodgers, who wrote the music, and Lawrence Hart wrote the lyrics way back in 1934. And it's one of the earliest examples of the chord progression that has become so common over the last, well, coming up for 100 years. And it's what you probably know as C minor FG7 in the key of C. If you want to show it in any key, you might like to use the Nashville notation, which would be 1, 6, 4, 5, where 1 is the root chord, 6 is the sixth note from the root chord turned into a minor, so C to A minor. Then 4 is the fourth note from the root chord, which is F, and then 5, the fifth note from the root chord, which is G, or G7, as you probably play it. Okay, that chord progression is known as the ice cream changes or the doo-wop changes, because a lot of the doo-wop bands of the 50s and early 60s use that chord progression. Just one that springs to mind is life could be a dream if I could take you up to paradise up above. There's virgins waiting there to give me all their love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. That was about 1956, and it's that doo-wop sound.
That version wasn't.
That version was a slight variation on that. It's called the doo-wop progression, the ice cream changes. It's also known as the Blue Moon 4 for the reasons that should become fairly obvious. Okay, just to make life a little more interesting, we're not doing it in C. We're going to do it in D because it gives some interesting opportunities for chord variations and chord inversions. But the basic chord structure is those 4 chords on a loop. So we start with a D chord, and that's whichever way you want to play your D, like that, or like that, or like that,
I like that.
or like that, yeah. And then we're going from the root chord, the D, to the minor, to the 6th chord minor, so that would be B minor, but we're making it a B minor 7th, just to make life interesting. B minor 7th is a bar, 4-string bar on the 2nd fret, and that's all you need to do, like that. Now, we then go from the 6th, so we're going 1, 6, 4. Now the 4th note up from D is a G, so we're looking for some sort of G chord. But instead of just playing a plain G chord, we're voicing and having a flavour of those lovely old 30s and 40s swing tunes and dance band arrangements. So we have a plain D chord, and then instead of a plain B minor chord, we're turning that into a B minor 7th, followed by, instead of a plain G chord, we're going to make that a G6th. Now G6th is the one you've probably been taught from your chord dictionaries, is 0202. And then from there we're going to an A7th, and the one that you've probably got in your chord dictionaries is 0100. Okay, now that's the easy way to play it. D, B minor 7th, G6, A7, and you can do that, if you like, on a loop all the way through. It goes like that right through the first verse and right through to the end of the second verse, and it's also what you do for an introduction. Just those 4 chords, endlessly pretty much, And so it goes through until you get to the last line of the second verse, when we just need a little bit of a signal that we've come to the end of a passage and we're going on to something else. Okay, so those are the basic ways of playing it. But let's give it a bit of a lift. And again, if you're playing in a group, there is a lot of things you can do. You can get some people to play it down there on the first, second frets, no problem. But some of the more adventurous among you might like to go up a bit. Now, so say we start with the D in the second position, which is 2-2-2-5. So a 4-string bar on the second fret and your little finger on the 5th fret of the A string. Now you've got that 4-string bar, so all you need to do to get from the D to the B minor 7th is just lift your little finger off. Now, instead of playing G6 there, might I offer up playing G6 as 7-7-7-7, a 4-string bar on the 7th fret, and that's a G6 chord. So we're going from there. So you don't need to, it's the same finger position, you just move your hand up the fretboard using exactly the same finger position. So a 4-string bar from 2 to 7. Now following on from there, we're calling for an A7th. Okay, there's your A7th that you know and love. There's a second position, A7th is 0, 4, 5, 4. But the one that seems to work quite well in this progression is to play it up on the 9th fret, so 9, 9, 9, 10. But if you want to, you can actually play that as an A6th, which is just 9, 9, 9, 9. So the introduction that you get is something like this. Which just makes things sound a little bit different. So you can play the A6, which is 9, 9, 9, 9, or the A7th, which is 9, 9, 9, 10. So there are a few variations there for playing what are very basic chords. Another version of A7th is 0, 4, 5, 7, which is another voicing for A7. So we've got all these variations of chords just to add colour and interest to your playing. What have I forgotten?
Well, just how it sounds together if one person plays the basic chords.
Yeah, okay.
So if I play the basic and you play the twiddly fiddly bit.
Let's try that then. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It fills it up. You're playing, because you're not just all playing the same 4 sounds down there. You're varying the soundscape. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Right, okay.
Carry on.
So if you want, you can use this song as a chord changing exercise for those 4 chords on a loop: D, B minor 7, G6 and either A6 or A7 up there, however you like it. And that's pretty much all of it, all the song. At the end of the second verse, the pattern varies slightly. It comes off that loop and just goes from a D to a G6. And that's a signal that we're going somewhere else other than the same chord progression. So what happens is we get to the bridge passage, the middle 8, the one that the the tune is, or the lyric is, and then there suddenly appeared before me. Now what you've got there are the 3 chords that are part of the 4 chord progression. You've got the G6 followed by an A7 back to a D, repeated. No B minor 7th in the middle 8. It just is D, and then there suddenly appeared before me the only one I ever loved. And then it changes. It adds a little bit of a lift to the song because it goes into a different key. Just for a half line, or for one line of the middle 8, for a quarter of it, it goes into the key of F. And the way it accomplishes that is going from a G, where you'd expect a G 6th, it goes to a G minor 7th. If you're not familiar with G minor 7th, it's 0, 2, 1, 1. And from there it goes to a C7. Now you can either play that C7 0, 0, 0, 1 or 3, 0, 0, 3, which seems to work better in this context, but if you prefer that one or any other C7 you might be able to find on the fretboard, there's 0, 7, 6, 7 is a C7 as well, or 3, 4, 3, 3.
7, 7, 7, 8.
What she said. No, that's G7 though.
Oh. It's around there. Oh, I know where it is, isn't it?
Yeah. So, G7 any way you like.
Yeah.
So, G minor 7, and then C7 to an F. So it just gives that middle 8 a real twist of interest. So we've been jogging along in D, and we've suddenly dropped the G to a minor, which automatically, virtually, takes it into the key of F. And then it needs to resolve back to the D again, so it goes from an F to an A, which is a lovely chord change. And all you do is move one finger across one string. And there you go. So the middle 8, the bridge passage, comes out like this. So we're in a D, and then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me, and when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. And then again, right at the end of the middle 8, there's just another little bit of interest there. It goes from the E7th to the E minor 7th, which is just a nice little something going on in the bass. And obviously all you need to do is to lift your, to play an ordinary E7, lift your index finger. And then we're back to the loop again. And that's pretty much all there is to the song. So, but it's an iconic song. It's a real standard. You may remember the version from the early 60s by the Marcells, which took all sorts of liberties with this. You remember the bass man going bam ba ba bam ba bam ba bam bam, etc., etc. Well, that's one interpretation, if you like. And so play the song any way you like. But when we get to the end, you need a nice little round off chord. And I love the 6th chords. Yeah. Okay. So the last half line is without a love of my own. So we're slowing it down from an A7, wherever you like it. Without a love of my own, G G6, D. So the G6 up there, so. And I'd love it if you could finish on the D6, which is just the same as B minor 7, 2, 2, 2, 2. I love finishing on those 6 chords. So what you get right at the end, just going through the final part of the coda at the end. So we're going from here, 1, 2, 3. Without a love of my own, without a love of my own. Sorry, completely, my brain went somewhere else. 1, 2, 3. Without a love of my own, without a love of my own. Slow it down. Without a love of my own. Finishing on the 6th. Well, that's about it really. It's a simple song, but it's to say, it's a standard, it's an iconic song. It's great fun to play, and it gets you into that. It was chord changing exercise, perfect song to sing and to play in a group because of all the voicings that you can use for those chords. I think that's about it, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Yep. Okay, so that's all from us for this week. We'll be along with another tutorial next week. This will be a play-along version. We'll put this out later on in a few days' time. Sunday. This is my admin, obviously. And look out for our comic song coming up on Friday, our Friday Foolishness. So that'll be along as well. And, well, we hope to see you soon. But until we do, you know what to do. Stay safe. Look after yourselves, but no more than 6 of you. And be kind to yourselves and look after each other. Okay, bye-bye for now.
Bye.